All right, so today we're going to jump into a really fascinating and honestly a massive design challenge. How in the world do you build one single software platform that can work for hundreds of huge, completely unique clients? It seems impossible, but the solution? It's surprisingly elegant.
Okay, so let's dive right in. To really get this, we first have to understand the sheer scale of the problem we're talking about. See, enterprise travel isn't just booking a flight for a vacation. No. It's this huge, tangled web of rules and requirements that are different for every single company. And that leads us right to the big question here. If every single client is totally unique with their own needs and rules, how can one platform possibly serve them all without just falling apart? It sounds kind of impossible, right? To put this into perspective, think about this for a second. This number, that's the number of employees at just one of their clients, a single global financial firm. Now just try to imagine that level of complexity multiplied across dozens and dozens of companies this size. The scale is absolutely staggering.
And look, it wasn't just about the sheer number of people. Each company brought its own tangled web of complexity to the table. They all needed different pricing, their own unique loyalty programs, custom business rules, their specific branding, a one-size-fits-all approach. Yeah, no way that was going to fly.
So what you end up with is this fundamental conflict, right? You've got these demands for intense customization crashing right into the need for massive, massive scale. And that's what we're calling the scalability paradox. And this right here, this lays out the classic no-win situation companies were stuck in. They basically had two pretty bad choices. On one hand, you have the rigid systems, sure, they're scalable, but they have zero flexibility. On the other hand, you could get a completely custom solution, perfectly tailored, but a total nightmare to maintain and just impossible to grow. So you gotta ask, right? Is there a third way? Is there some way to get that perfect tailored fit of a custom solution, but with the efficiency and the raw power of a scalable system?
Well, it turns out the answer is yes. And it lies in a really powerful architectural approach that, well, it builds a path forward and completely solves that paradox of scale versus customization.
The solution is called multi-tenant architecture. Now, probably the best way to wrap your head around this is with the apartment building metaphor. Think about it. You have one building, that's your single piece of software. But inside, every single apartment can be decorated and arranged completely differently to suit whoever lives there. It's one structure, but hundreds of unique experiences. So here's the absolute key, this really elegant principle. You build one powerful, unified backend that handles all the core stuff, all the heavy lifting, but you allow for countless tailored front-end experiences. Each client gets a platform that looks and feels like it was built just for them.
But, saying it is one thing. Actually building it is a whole other story. So how did they actually pull this off from an engineering standpoint? Let's break down the tech that really brings this one-to-many solution to life.
The platform was built with 4 key layers of power. First, you've got a flexible front-end experience, built with something like Angular, which lets them build a user interface that can easily change its whole look and feel. Second, there's a unified back-end brain, built with .NET, that keeps all the core business rules organized and scalable. Third, an automated engine using tools like Docker and Kubernetes. You can think of these as like a robotic pit crew that packages, deploys, and manages all the parts of the app so it's always running perfectly. And finally, a responsive core, which just makes the whole thing super fast and reliable in real time.
The absolute genius here is that the fundamental framework, searching, booking, and paying for travel, is completely reusable. That core logic stays exactly the same for every single client. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. It's brilliant.
Okay, so the core stays the same, but everything the user actually sees and interacts with can change on the fly. We're talking the branding, the pricing rules, how discounts and taxes are calculated, the entire checkout flow, even which loyalty programs are plugged in. It all just adapts based on who's using it.
And this is maybe the most important part of the whole thing. The customization isn't done by writing new, complicated code for every client. No, it's all configurable. You can bring on new clients just by flipping some switches and setting some rules, which is so much faster and more efficient.
So let's zoom out from all the tech for a minute and look at the real-world impact. What did this actually mean for the business and, more importantly, for its users?
And the results? Well, they were pretty much immediate and just huge. Operational efficiency went through the roof because suddenly there was only one platform to maintain. User personalization was incredibly high, which meant employees actually liked using it. And the flexibility for clients, that was an absolute game changer.
And this quote, it just sums it up perfectly. The platform delivered the holy grail, maximum flexibility for clients without piling on all the usual maintenance and complexity that comes with custom software.
So let's just boil it all down. All of this incredible diversity and personalization, all of it came from one central unified system. That right there is the power of the one-to-many approach. This platform really did reinvent what's possible in the world of enterprise travel booking. And that really leaves us with a big provocative question, doesn't it? What other complex industries, like finance, healthcare, or logistics, are just waiting for their own one-to-many revolution? Definitely something to think about.